If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. How y'all feeling, man? Make sure y'all pull up in that live chat. I see y'all, GMS fam. We got some things to talk about today. I ain't gonna keep y'all long because you know we got 3Gs later tonight, so I don't want y'all to miss that as well. Make sure y'all pull up for that when we go live for 3Gs tonight. But until then, we got some things to discuss here on the GMS show. Shout out to Glittery Bubbles in the chat. Still Lee is here. He is working and listening at the same time. I appreciate everybody that's at work right now doing their thing and also listening to the show at the same time, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button as well. Subscribe, all that good shit. Ronnie Forrest is in the building. JR Miller, my guy. Tremaine is in the building. Nikki Love is in the building. What's going on, my GMS fam? Thank y'all for pulling up and participating in that live chat. I'm going to shout y'all out as y'all come in. Hey, man. I just want to say big shout out to everybody that supports the GMS show in a big way, man. Whether you listen to the show, watch the show, participate in the live chat, you know, donate in the super chat, or you know, send some cash apps here and there. I appreciate every single one of y'all, man, for real. It means a lot to me. I just want to say thank y'all for supporting in a big way, because y'all don't have to, but y'all do, and I love seeing the same people pull up all the time. Our GMS fam that support regularly and participate in the chat habitually. So thank y'all, man. Now, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We have to talk about this. There was a video that started going around on social media. What up, Clack Clack? What up, Mike? Of Donell Rawlings participating in a roast battle. He was one of the judges there. He wasn't somebody that was going on stage to be a professional roaster, but when the people do go on stage, they do get a chance to go at the host if they want to. And what it seemed to be is a flashback for Donnell Rawlings, because the same thing kind of happened to him when he was on the Tony Hinchcliffe show. Somebody was roasting him, he couldn't take it. Things got a little awkward, things got a little weird, and then he decided to do his own thing. I don't think Donnell Rawlings is supposed to be somebody who goes to roast battles, man. It doesn't seem like, you know, he's somebody that looks like he can dish a joke, but he can't really take a joke. I think he takes more things too serious. I think he's a little bit too sensitive. And as a comedian, certain barriers you gotta break down, man. Especially the sensitivity barrier when you are somebody who jokes on people or find yourself in the middle of these roast battles. I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into when you go to these type of things, but for some reason, Donnell Rawlings cannot gauge in his brain how to joke back or how not to take things to a certain level where he looks crazy at the end of the day. Now, of course, that video went viral. I don't know if it went viral, but I know it made its rounds. It might go viral now after Corey talked about it. But this was Jeff Ross. It was a Jeff Ross roast battle thing that was going on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there it goes. It's on the screen now. This is what happened with Donell Rawlings. So apparently, which I'm not even gonna lie, I know this is lazy journalism. I was gonna watch it earlier, but I was watching so many things earlier. We got a lot of different topics to talk about, so I was trying to, get all these different videos in. But the video is up, man. So what apparently happened was Donell got in his feelings. He wasn't allowing the comedians to get their jokes off. He was cutting them off. He was being very rude, so to speak. And that's when not only the comedians on stage turned against him, but the crowd turned against him. At one point, you could hear a chant from everybody saying, "You are not Chappelle. You are not Chappelle." And I know that has to burn him, because you have to understand, being in the shadow of somebody who everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people deem as one of the greats and one of the GOATs of comedy, especially as a stand-up comedian, and you're always in that person's shadow, or you're always somebody who, isn't leading but always coming up from behind, pause. They're always going to attach Dave's name to your name. And here's the thing. We've seen examples of people that have had big names attached to them, like, the Charlie Murphys, or, different people of that nature, who they will be attached to somebody who's bigger than life, but they made their own name, so that when people saw them, or when people saw their work, or when people see them in movies or TV shows, they stand alone. You don't have to say, "Oh, that's Eddie Murphy's brother." You know what I'm saying? You say that's Charlie Murphy. Who else is some people like that? Give me some examples in the chat. Who else has a big name attached to them, whether it be a family member or somebody like that, or just a friend of theirs that got on and they went out to find their own name for themselves, to where people respected them as an individual and not somebody who is just somebody's attachment, so to speak. Let me know. But I know it irks him, because, even though I think that Donell Rawlings is a funny comedian, I don't think he's the best comedian. I don't think he's the funniest comedian. I just think he has funny moments, and I think he's more funny naturally than he is on stage, in my opinion. Him on interviews, or him doing impromptu or improv, whatever the case may be, I think he's more funny in that sense than he is on stage. Glittery Bubble said all the Wayans. That is very true. They all stand alone. Nikki Love says Ray J. Cortez says Denzel's son. You still had to say Denzel's son. You got to figure out his name. Nolan Power said 2 Chainz. That's right. We've definitely seen a lot of musicians, or a lot of artists, branch off from being under somebody's wing. That's happened so many times over the years. Omar Gooding. That's a good example right there. As a matter of fact, I knew about Omar Gooding way back in the Nickelodeon days. What was that? It wasn't Global Guts. That was something different. But Wild and Crazy Kids. That's what it is. Wild and Crazy Kids. I remember him from that era, the 90s era. He was somebody that was like a part of the household back in the day if you were a 90s kid. So I didn't even know anything about him being Omar. I didn't even know who I didn't know who Cuba Gooding Jr. was before I knew who Omar was, because of my childhood. So shout out to him. Rockwell, Fred Hampton Jr., Lenny Kravitz. Okay, all right, cool. I don't know too much about the Lenny Kravitz thing, but anyway, you get my point. You got to know that sometimes, some people are self-aware quietly. They're not really self-aware to the public, because they hold on to an ego, or they want to hold on to a perception, or they want to believe that they're good enough to stand alone. But in my opinion, and this is no disrespect to Donell Rawlings, there's not going to be a time where you stand alone as your own when it comes to the comedy sector, because people are always going to attach you to Dave. They're always going to be the people that buy the tickets in a large amount because of your allegiance and your connection to Dave Chappelle. A lot of Dave Chappelle fans will go and see Donell because they've seen him a lot with Dave. So a lot of people are like, your name is synonymous with Chappelle. Like the time when who was making fun of him for his Chappelle chain, That was the time I actually defended him, because I'm like, I mean, if the Chappelle show was the reason why everybody knows you and the reason why you're still making money till today, yeah, rep that shit. But people tried to clown him for it and say that he got to wear the Chappelle chain and all this other shit. But it's like, that's his guy. They rock with each other. And I've said this before. Dave Chappelle has put Donnell on a pedestal as far as Donnell being one of the funniest comedians in his eyes. This is another reason why Dave brings him on tour and continues to work with him. But nonetheless, you know, it irks him when he goes to do something on his own, and he has to realize that people in the room are thinking the same thing, which is why that chant, that "You are not Chappelle" chant, irked him to the point where he literally said he made the Chappelle show what it was. Now, granted, you are a big reason for the Chappelle show's success, but let's not act like Dave wasn't the spearhead. David was somebody that set the tone. Y'all followed after. Even when it came to Charlie Murphy was somebody who stood alone when he was doing it. He got his own segment. You were the person that I don't think Donnell ever got his own segment of sketches and skits. I don't think he ever got that. From my recollection, the only time that Donell Rawlings had a spot where he was one of the A mics was when him and Charlie had to do the show while Dave left to go to Africa. And for those that are well versed on the Chappelle show and know how that shit ended, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They had to go on stage and they had to host because Dave was gone. And that's the only way that they could have hosted the show. Now, let me show y'all what happened on stage that day with Donnell. Listen to this. That's so crazy to have a chant start where they saying "You are not Chappelle." Oh my God. After he says that, they go on to do an Ashy Larry chant. Fuck you. He was looking for some claps and some acknowledgement after he said that. They went into an Ashy Larry chant. That is so disrespectful, man. Like, you gotta understand, he probably had a probably "that's so Raven" moment, but not where he saw in the future, but more so saw his pain. Like, he had to stop for a second and think about all the years he has been in this game, all the things that he has done on TV and just entertainment, and to have it all reduced down to a Ashy Larry "You are not Chappelle" chants that has to crush a man's spirit. Probably another reason why he was getting obliterated over there. He clearly was intoxicated. I don't know how drunk he was, but it sounds like his words were slurring. Let me just say, I'll take an educated guess and say that he was drinking quite a bit. Now watch how this ended, man. Shout out to Sean Mims for the $4.99 in the super chat, as well as the $8 in the Cash App, man. I appreciate you so much for doing that. Supporting the GMS show in a big way. I gotta get some water, man. I got cotton mouth like a motherfucker. Sean Mem said, drink one, Donnell was drunk, or drink one. Donnell was drunk. Comedians are too sensitive. Look at all the guys that was salty at Shannon because of Cat. Oh yeah. Also, you gotta understand too, like, when you get yourself into a point where you're inebriated while doing an event like this, you better know how to keep your poise. You better know how to clap back, or know that you will still be in the realm of being the entertainer, because a lot of these guys fall out of that when they feel embarrassed. There's not too many guys that can pull a Bill Burr. There's not too many guys that can pull a Cat Williams. There's not too many guys that can pull one of those moves where, whether you're Patrice O'Neal, whether you drunk or not, you still have a sharp mind and can still clap back. You at a roast battle. The main thing is to not, like, that's the number one rule when you are engaging in a roast battle. Don't get too sensitive. If you are going to get too sensitive, do not participate, whether you a judge or whether you somebody that's participating in the battle. Wrote a TV show that you were on. First of all, I don't find that to be a flex, because yes, of course, people like you are going to be in a room to write TV shows that have black characters in it. It doesn't come from the real experience. I think you just kind of outed yourself in that sense. Oh, I wrote for a TV show that you were on. Okay, I know a lot of people that look just like you that are in those same rooms. It's not a flex. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish there. But nonetheless, he did go at him in a way where he told him he wasn't funny. He said he was a whack comedian. Now, this also kind of parrots off of what happened to him. And when you decided to heckle Corey Holcomb and Corey called you a mild comedian, he said your comedy is mild. You were beside yourself. And then you went on to a platform to talk about it and how you and our comedians and this fraternity, there's certain things you aren't supposed to do. But you just sat here on stage off the cognac or whatever it is that you was drinking, and you decided to turn to a comedian and tell him that he was a whack comedian. Now, hey man, at the end of the day, it is what it is after that. Now, Corey caught wind of this, of course. He said a bunch of people sent it to him. Why did this chipmunk just show up? He said a lot of people sent it to him, and he just had to comment on it. And it was very interesting, the things that he had to say, because of course, you know, he does not like Donnell Rawlings. Now, Donnell recently, we all know the problems between him and Corey and where they stem from. But recently, after Dave Chappelle won some Grammys for his stand-up specials, Donnell decided to go on his Instagram and post Corey and things that Corey said about Dave Chappelle, and decided to call Corey out in that instance and basically was like, nah, 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 boo-boo, you said this and look, he's winning awards. Now, Corey went on to respond to that post, and he said anybody that's winning Grammys is taking it in the rear end. Now, that is kind of a slippery slope pause to go down, because a lot of the people that he's respected and who he's a fan of has won multiple Grammys. For instance, the first thing that people brought up was Kendrick Lamar, and not just because Kendrick had a very big year last year and is still continuing to have a big year this year, but because Corey was actually featured in one of Kendrick Lamar's videos, If These Walls Could Talk. So, in just association and by Corey's standard, if you're involved with anything like that, you must be involved in Backdooria, but we all know that that's not completely true. Now, he went on to talk about this, and this is what Corey had to say regarding Donnell getting booed out the gym at a roast battle. Listen to this.
Miserably failing at the roast battle right here.
With Ashy Larry, because he ain't unless he got an Ashy Larry dance contest. Let him do that on the road. But I'm telling you, the man hot garbage, and he be trying to sabotage other shows.
Okay, what did he do?
He went to the Comedy Store with Jeff Ross, one of the coolest brothers in comedy.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't no brother, but I'm saying, Jeff Ross, we love you, man. You was such a good dude. You was so patient. He tried to ruin the show because people didn't cheer for him. So the whole crowd started booing him. Just like, please get him out of here. I mean, the comics, he wouldn't even let the comics perform.
Man.
He talk about they ain't gonna make it. You didn't make it, motherfucker. You open up for motherfucker Dave Chappelle and got a chance to be on his show. Hey, how about this? Hey, Dave Chappelle, when they canceled you, it was Ashy Larry who was like, I'll do it. I'll do it. Just like on that movie Hollywood Shuffle.
You mean like keep the show going?
Yeah, you know they need a sucker to do it.
The Dave Chappelle
Just like,
show.
look, they tried to get rid of my nigga Nick Cannon off Wildin' Out. And they told DC Young Fly, we want you to do it. DC Young Fly, I ain't doing that shit. That man put me on. What the f I look like doing his shit? You see what I'm saying? That's why I love DC Young Fly. He a real nigga. No matter what. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
Your man come out. That motherfucker, Dave Chappelle, they was like, Dave Chappelle. That motherfucker Ashley, like, I'll do it. Tell me I'm lying. And you sat between that nigga legs and everybody know what I'm talking about. This a cake ass nigga, dog. Y'all ain't gotta send me. I ain't glad he bombed. What I'm glad about is more people seeing what I was talking about. Cause y'all try to act like I speak out of venom. I'm not speaking out of venom, man. The other nigga ain't funny, like I said, in stand-up. When them niggas have writers and they do skits on Saturday Night Live and all that type of shit. That's when they shine the most, God damn it. But I'll be lying if I didn't say the nigga Chappelle have had some profound statements he said in his joke monologue. He said some profound shit that you got to take the hat off. But I'm saying, if you pay to go see him, dog, Kendrick Lamar had that song, Boo Boo. I'll be the Kendrick Lamar comedy. It's Boo Boo, man. I'm telling you, if I was lying. In fact, speaking on Boo Boo, well, I ain't gonna even go there. But what I'm saying is, nigga, you talking to the motherfucking king of the game. And with that, I take the responsibility of being hated. I'm the king. But Corey just be bitter. Yeah, all right, go see him. Pay your money to go see that shit and watch what happened. Nigga, I ain't no evil motherfucker. It's just, goddamn, how long a nigga supposed to be quiet? How long is a man not supposed to say nothing? You sitting there watching. That's why I be outside. Even standing outside, I got into some trouble with the motherfucker bitch who tried to lie and say I did something to her outside. All the busters hate motherfuckers. They hate the funny motherfuckers. They hate the talented people. If you're talented at something, people who do that, they're not going to like you. They're going to smile with you sometime, but try to plot your demise. Whatever you're talented at, whatever your strong thing is, guarantee you, the people who do that also are going to try to find a way to throw you under the bus one way or another, so it'll take away the magnetic attraction of who you are with that talent. But I knew he wasn't going to do good. So he showed he wasn't going to do good because he disrupted the whole show trying to act. He was like, I don't care about a boo. You can boo me. I don't care. How you get booed and you a judge?
That's crazy.
They was like, shut that trash ass nigga up.
So what do y'all think about what Corey had to say about Donnell Rawlings? And should Donell stop pulling up to roast battles at this point? Let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe.
To the GMS show. I'll see y'all later. Now, let's talk about it. Now, Corey has made it a point to let it be known how he feels about Donnell's comedy. Let me know what y'all think, because I'm about to actually put up a poll. Fuck it. I'm putting up a poll. All right? We're putting up a poll so I can let y'all know, or y'all can let me know how y'all feel about Donnell Rawlings' comedy yourself. Now, not just that, but did he prove his point? Did Donnell prove Corey Holcomb right by his mild comedian comments? Let's find out from y'all, man. Let's find out from y'all. He said my mic is low. Is my mic low? How many of y'all can hear me and who can't hear me? Let me know. Prove Corey Holcomb right. Let's put the poll up. Let's see what y'all think, man. Now, it's very interesting because, in my opinion, like I said before, I think Donnell is a funny comedian. I don't think he's the best comic in the world. I don't think he's, somebody who would be revered amongst the greats. He's not going to be, his name isn't going to be brought up in conversations of people's top tens. In my opinion. I don't know. I don't think so. Now, here's the thing. I just need people to be honest about, do we really care about who the GOAT is, or do we just care about people being funny? Because that's something that I've always wanted. Like, I get it. Like, you can have your top fives or your top tens, or you can talk about the greatest comics and all these other things. But at the same time, what do y'all like? What do the masses actually care about? Like, the conversations and stuff like that, when we talk about top five or the greatest of all time, they're fun. But y'all know y'all don't only just watch the greatest of all time. Y'all watch new comedians. Y'all watch up-and-coming comedians. Y'all watch people that y'all been watching for a while who are just funny to you, but not somebody who you would put in your top 10 or top 5, excuse me, people you consider that are becoming funny now. Like somebody, for instance, right now, a young comic that's coming up, who I think right now has been doing something that I think is a more intricate and more organized version of what Dave Chappelle stand-up is today, which his name is Josh Johnson. I think he does a great job on stage. I think he does a great job with storytelling and informing his jokes and putting things together to make them cohesive and make them coherent and make them digestible to the people that are watching. I think that's why he has such a large crowd and diverse crowd. It said, Mike Lowe, I can hear you. Okay, different people. All right, well, I'm not going to change anything. But if you can't hear me, turn your speakers up. If you can, cool. Nikki said, I've seen his stand-up. Well, let me know what you think of his stand-up. Hurricane said, Ari Spears funnier than Donnell. Yeah, I believe so, too. Simo said, I think it's coincidence. The timing of it is funny, though. Tremaine said, he's just going to be known as Ashy Larry. Well, that's the thing. He got a bunch of Ashy Larry chants, which I thought was like the most disrespectful thing that you would ever do. To start an Ashy Larry chant and you're not Chappelle, oh my God, I know that had to hurt. Still, he says certain characters will forever pigeonhole you. Donell is forever pigeonholed with Ashy Larry. Yeah, and if you didn't do anything that was more prolific outside of that, you will always be looked at that. So for instance, let's talk about some of the things that he's done. He's been on TV before. We all know, for those of y'all, how many of y'all have watched The Wire? Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen The Wire. Put a 2 in the chat if you haven't. But Donnell Rawlings was in The Wire, right? He played a character in The Wire. But when people saw it, the first thought they had was, oh, Chappelle Show, oh, Ashy Larry, oh, you know, that's Donnell Rawlings. And when he does things, in my opinion, when I see Donnell Rawlings outside of a comedy space, to me, it don't look right because I'm waiting for him to say something funny. I'm waiting for him to be funny. I'm waiting for him to do something wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't look at him as a detective. I didn't look at him as somebody who could play a serious role. Now, the reason why I bring up The Wire is because Idris Elba was on that show. People will always look at him in certain ways, but not just that one way. What was his name on the show? I can't even tell you because this nigga done did so many other notable roles in his life that, once again, that's how you stand alone and that's how you build a name for yourself so that people call you Idris Elba when they see you walk by. They don't say your name. What was it, Stringer Bell? Like, you got to understand there's things that you do and talent really shows in different ways when you continue to elevate yourself as an entertainer and as an artist. A lot of y'all seen it. J.R. Miller said you gotta be ashy in The Wire. It's mandatory. Still Elise said, or he's known for getting joked on at the Breakfast Club. See that too. Which, if he didn't like it, to me, if he didn't come off as so sensitive with that, it'll be more enjoyable to watch. Which happened last time. The last time he was on there, that was when he finally caught on to, all right, we gotta like joke and go back. Like there's a niche here. When people see you come up to the Breakfast Club, they get excited because they know something wild is going to happen or something is going to be said or they're going to laugh. That's why I said he's a lot funnier in interviews and other platforms than he is on stage doing stand-up. Kadeem Jones said, I'm surprised Corey didn't say, excuse me, I got some text of Donnell begging me to come on the show. Simo said it's hard for comedians, comedic actors to transition to more serious roles. Yeah, it is. It really is. You really got to stand out in a certain way for people to take you serious. Tremaine says his Breakfast Club interviews are hilarious, though, mostly because of Charlemagne. 517 Ray says Corey may be rough around the edges, but on certain industry shit, he be on point. Well, yeah, if you're in the industry and you see certain things, that's why I've always said to people, like, you know, when it comes to certain things Corey says about the entertainment industry or Hollywood or something like that, you take it how you want, but just know he was involved with it. So there is certain things that he's seen. Now, as far as the depths of what he's seen, we don't know because he's never been amongst like the elites in that way. He's not amongst the elite entertainment comedians who people call on to come host these big award shows or these big events or, you know, different things like that. So when it's like different rooms you got to step into. Now he's maybe been around these people physically in certain places, but when it comes to like rooms where people are conducting business and there's opportunities afoot, I don't think he would be in those rooms. Now, all right, let me close this poll out. I'm gonna end the poll. It says, did Donell Rawlings prove Corey Holcomb right? I'm gonna give y'all one more minute to vote on the poll that is up right now in the chat. Vote on it right now. I'm gonna give you one last minute. You go ahead and vote on it, and then we'll close the poll out. And then we're gonna go to something else, because Corey also went on to, reiterate why he spoke on Donnell, and also he has some things to say about his former co-hosts that were a part of 5150. Yes, I do. I played it earlier. If you want to rewind 517 Ray, I played the clip of what happened with Donnell on the roast battle, if you want to rewind a little bit. But yeah, we got 30 seconds, man. 30 seconds for that. But yeah, Corey has some things to say. It seemed like he was in his, because when he's going through turmoil in his personal life, a lot of that anger and that venom and that bitterness spills into his show. And then that's when he'll really out things about certain people, or really talk about personal things that's happened. Like he put somebody on blast who he known for 40 years, who hit him up, asked him about if he smashed some people. Like this is the type of stuff I'll be talking about when you put and you volunteer information to the public when things happen behind the scenes. And certain people don't look at it as messy. They look at it as him being a man and him being real and putting shit on blast and standing on his own too. But it also is like, these things don't need to be said. In the same breath, being a man don't make you somebody that will start putting information out there to the public that people don't know about, which leaves people up for scrutiny or leave them up for criticism when they didn't ask for it. This is a conversation that happened behind the scenes. Regardless of how you feel about it, you still putting somebody on blast now. And then that carries on the point of, well, you just stay in drama, like we talked about last week when it came to Tony Baker. Now, I'm gonna end the poll now. I see there's 39 votes. We're gonna end the poll. 85% of you said that Donnell Rawlings proved Corey right about being a mild comedian. Holy moly, donut shop. Well, there you have it. Now, this is the part I want to pay attention to, because this is when some things become contradicting. Because in one breath, earlier in his show, he'll say things like, I just see what's going on the internet, what's going on in the world, and I talk about it. Whatever's popular or whatever's trending or whatever the case may be, he goes, he sees things on the internet, he talks about it. But then when people talk about him or talk about his show or things that he said or things that he's getting traction for on the internet, it becomes a thing of, it becomes bigger than what it is. It becomes, oh, these guys are hating, or these guys need to do something else with their time, or these guys, it's like, no, you're part of this sector. You're part of this entertainment realm, whether or not you want to believe it, or whether or not you want to try to push, your cult following into pushing a narrative. You can't be the guy that says, I go on my platform every week to talk about what's happening out in the world and what's going on the internet and things that you see, whether you gossip it or not, and then get mad at people when you're the subject of conversation, because your platform is big and your voice is big out here in entertainment. You can't be mad at that, but you got to hear it for yourself. Here's what he had to say.
At the beginning of the show, we talked about Donnell Rawlings. Never did nothing to him. Bitch ass nigga started heckling in my show because things that I do get up under their skin, even though I'm not fucking with them. There has been people who have been on the 5150 show who got mad at me over things I said, even though I didn't say nothing about them. I just said things. Corey Holcomb has a formula that works, whether you're here or not. So remember, if Corey Holcomb rubs you the wrong way, I'm saying this to anybody in life, get the fuck away from me. I mean that to anybody. If you feel like you become volatile toward me, it's not fair for you to be around me knowing you can't stand my motherfucking ass. Get the fuck away from me. This goes to anybody. Everybody. I heard motherfuckers on the chat one day say, Corey had been through a lot of hosts and all that shit. Motherfucker, I'm a motherfucking boss. When you a motherfucking boss, sometimes decisions are made. I'm the captain of the motherfucking ship. Being the captain of the motherfucking ship, all of the motherfuckers on the ship don't like you all the time. But there is a duty they have. If you feel like fuck your duty, please don't try to disturb the whole ship like a Donnell Rawlings did down there at the motherfucking Comedy Store. Anybody who looked this shit up, they'll see what happened. There are some people, if it don't go their way, they will disrupt what's happening. All you got to do, sit back and watch them.
See, this is my point right here. Now watch how easy this is. It's going to be incredibly easy. It always is. Now, you see, there's a comment that says from a person named I Don't Play Games. They said, this nigga always talking about Corey. Well, Corey's always talking about people he actually doesn't like. Do you have a problem with that? Or do you tune in every week to hear it and choke it up like the meat that you came in here riding when you came to the comment section? See how easy that is? When people come, because they don't understand. You follow somebody so hard and you believe everything that they say and go with whatever narrative that they push, that they start to think that a nigga that talks about a very popular individual inside the realm of entertainment is weird. He doesn't talk about you. None of these other niggas really talk about him at all until he says more things about them. Donnell Rawlings didn't respond until Corey kept saying things about him being mild on the show. Who else responds to Corey Holcomb besides Tasha K and the woman that he supposedly mushed in the face? The people that he talks about, where do you see them talking about him? Did Tony Baker respond to him? When did Earthquake say something about him? When is Aries ever talking about Corey? He finally says something on IG when he says something about Dave Chappelle, but he always mentions Aries Spears. Y'all, see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all niggas are stupid as hell. Y'all niggas dumb as hell. How do you exist being this fucking stupid? Nobody has to talk about me for me to talk about popular topics. That doesn't make any sense. If that was the case, none of these niggas on podcasts will have anything to talk about. If they had to wait for somebody to talk about them to talk about something popular. Let's be real. Be a little bit rational in your thinking before you say something in the comment section, please.
And they act like, what? Nothing. I didn't do nothing on purpose. It always happens with niggas like me. I was looking at the chat room. Who is that motherfucker? Let me see something.
Yeah, we should read some of those super chats because there's some good ones up there.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh.
Just some spam?
Oh, brother, a fake Elon. God, I hate when people do that. It's just a spammer. Yeah.
Right.
Every video you got is a Corey video. Oh, well, welcome to the algorithms, stupid motherfucker. I know you don't know what YouTube is, and I don't know if you understand what algorithms are, but the fact that I started my channel off reviewing the 5150 show, and a lot of people that support and watch the 5150 show came to my channel, that's the things that they want to see. I know you don't understand that. I know it's a great narrative to say that somebody's obsessed with somebody or somebody can't stop talking about them, but algorithms are real. And I displayed that on my channel recently. The videos that I post of the things that have been said by Corey, they'll get a couple thousand views. I post a video about A$AP Rocky's lawyer talking about A$AP Relly, a popular topic, a couple hundred views. The algorithms cater to what the people who watch your channel want to see. Here is a simple ass lesson for you remedial niggas who don't understand what this is. Welcome to the algorithm. That's how you found me. And that's why you're here in the chat. And then you guys go on to gobble more dick in the chat because you look stupid. No, Corey's your God. That's why you came here. I don't think you understand. See, spirits move people. And if Corey was my God, I wouldn't talk about him. See, Corey is somebody who you praise and you want to be like, so you come to my channel to try to defend another man because that's how you feel. That's what's in your heart. See, Corey talks about Backdooria so much, he's got some of you actual closeted Backdooria niggas constantly going and supporting other channels that you think are negative towards 5150. He's got you niggas on a stroll like little hoes with your heels on and mini skirts and makeup on your face and wigs on, going to march in his defense because you are a bitch. Do you see how easy this is? I can talk. You have to type. I don't have to read anything you're saying, but it's fun to me because it's so easy to make you niggas look stupid as hell. It's so, I mean, people that watch me religiously see that this happens all the time. All the time. We talk about so many topics on the on this channel, but as soon as I talk about Corey, it's always a Corey dick sucker coming in the chat, always saying some wild shit because he want to be seen, because he's a little bitch that think he a bad bitch. Like Corey talk about being a bad bitch, using that as a as an example for his life and his career. I'm doing this because I can. I didn't ask anybody to show up. I didn't make anybody show up. But here you are supporting the chat. I don't even think you understand you're helping this channel. Look how many times you're commenting. Look how many times you're in the chat for somebody who doesn't actually like this channel and is talking shit. You think you're doing something to prevent something. No, you're actually helping. You're an idiot. You're dumb as fuck. But you're going to stay here because I'm acknowledging you, which is another thing that these niggas don't understand. I'm making you, so now I'm making you do some shit that you probably don't want to do. You probably don't want to support this channel. You probably hope that they get this shit taken down. But here you are being a Corey sexual, a 5150 booty goon in my chat supporting. It's amazing. Sean Mims says Corey sexuals didn't have a problem with Corey always talking about Stephen A, but kissed the ring when he saw him with chicken wings. Holy. I mean, look, man. I'm one of those people that cracked jokes to Corey as well when that happened, but I do understand his point of not, you know, of course he couldn't just haul off and punch Stephen A. Smith in the face in some nice ass restaurant. What he could have did was not take a picture and be like, I'm good on you, man. That's not going to cause a scene. That's not going to make Corey look like a bad person if he goes, oh, nah, I'm good on you. That's cool. Oh, you picked the perfect time to pull up on me and ask me a question when we surrounded by a bunch of people in a nice ass restaurant. You really want to have something out, we can go outside, but I ain't taking no pictures with you. I ain't got nothing to say to you. What do you think Stephen A. would have? Stephen A. wouldn't have jeopardized his career for Corey Holcomb and hauled off on him and punched him. He probably would have walked the fuck away. Or he could have, ooh, you got some smoke for me, Corey? Like he approached Corey like a man. I don't know. It is what it is. But nonetheless, he had those things to say. I don't even think it got through that point because I wanted to talk about this guy. But just the things that he said about the certain people that used to be on his show. Listen to this.
It ain't their face, so I'm just saying. It's like I'm sure they'll make another one. We don't care about that. We can't do nothing about that. But I'm just saying.
Oh, y'all
it's
talking
like,
about?
In life, like I would say to the man who is mad enough at his wife where he's calling other guys. In life, if you're around somebody that you feel like is not doing you right, get the fuck away from them. This goes to anybody who feels like Corey Holcomb. I want to say this. I'll call out some of the guys who go out their way to report on my show who can't stand me. Listen, dude, do you realize by you studying my show, I'm really your God? Because this ain't something that's been going on for a couple of weeks, months. It's people out there, they have dedicated their lives to talking shit about me. And I'm like,
so what does the LGBTQ community think of Corey when he has dedicated his career and his podcast stint to constantly talking about them? Every chance he gets, he talks about that. Like for somebody who doesn't agree or doesn't rock with something so much to talk about it every week or to mention it every week, and even on the side make some jokes about some gay jokes regarding himself at times, and even throw some gay jokes towards Craig's way, it's like, you got to understand, the contradiction is just right itself. You can't tell me it makes any sense that Corey can say that he can sit on his show and talk about any and everything that he wants to, whatever's popular on the internet, whatever it is. But as soon as people talk about him, I am your God. Well, what does that make the LGBTQ community to you, Corey? The Alpha and Omega? Because last time I checked, ain't been no LGBTQ community statements going at Corey or people sitting there trying to bash Corey or go back and forth with that nigga. It's always him one-sided talking about gay people. Or if he's talking about other entertainers or other comedians or other situations in life. So you got to understand, the way you go on your platform and talk about any and everything, people have a choice to go on and talk about whatever they want as well. And it just so happens that you are a popular topic. I think it's a lot of projections, but I think you got to hear what he has to say about his former co-host. Listen to this.
I ain't, motherfucker, but you understand, I don't have time to dedicate my life on you. That's why you never give me.
That's why I responded to it, because that's how. Look, Still Elite said, "Oh wow, he used the same talking points that Corey used in the comments." Exactly, because them niggas don't think for themselves. That was that's why I'm glad I'm playing this, because he proved my point. These niggas do not think for themselves. They follow anything Corey tells them or says or whatever narratives he wants to push, because that's their daddy, that's their God. The same way a preacher would stand up on a pulpit and read from the Bible and tell his congregation certain things, and they go and they follow along with what he's saying and what he believes in, is the same way these niggas in the chat do the same thing for Corey. They are 5150 booty goons, and they are afraid to admit it, but they always show it in their actions. Let's keep going.
To say your name. You get people who don't like me to say your name. People who don't like me to bring you around them. I know how the game of life go, man. The game of life is cold-blooded. People, if you don't like somebody and you around them. Now, I can see if you working a job. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like their boss at the job, but they got to make a living. But I'm saying, people who don't like people, man, why be around the person you don't like? That's not fair to the person you don't like. You're disruptive around them. You're all this, and you never did nothing. I don't think.
Shout out to the moderators, man. My nigga JR just sent me all the messages this person has sent me on multiple different videos. Look at all those comments. Look at how many comments this person has left me. For a person that don't be here, for a person that doesn't pay attention, or only has left 3 comments. Look at this person. This was just today. All this other shit is from weeks ago. Good God. Oh my goodness. That is ridiculous. You talk about an obsession. Now you have a choice to comment. I know what my algorithms cater to. I do the show because of the algorithms, man. I know that's what a lot of people want to see, so I cater to the people. You just coming over here because you like what niggas look like, apparently. I don't know. It's some weird in the closet shit going on with you, fam.
Think you should be around that motherfucker. Think you need to get the fuck on. And this goes to any motherfucker who don't like Corey Holcomb. Any motherfucker. See, I get the fuck away from y'all, don't I? I stopped hanging around the Improv. That was my way of releasing, because there's too many motherfuckers who come around that I'm like, man, these nickel and dime motherfuckers is winning.
Man.
I mentioned somebody's name today, Tory Hart. I don't take that back. I don't want the bitch around me. The bitch is disruptive. I know she's gonna pop up at one of my shows now because she wants to smoke. But trust me, I will have smoke waiting for her, and it won't be me. I'm gonna have some security for bitches who think they could play with niggas. I've mentioned names today on the show. I've dropped names. I understand what I did, and I'm thinking about it. Everybody who name I drop, I stand on it. Because you tried me. You tried me. I didn't just drop your name because I'm motherfucking a dirty motherfucker. You tried me. You tried me when you was around me. And I was a gentleman and I let it go. Ashy Larry, I was a gentleman. I was conversating with you on stage when I was doing my show. I ain't have to be conversating with you. Especially you, because like I can't say this about everybody, but I'll beat your ass.
Damn.
I can't say that about everybody.
Yeah.
If some motherfuckers heckling me at my show, I can't whoop them. But most of the time, men respect men.
Oh, day, yeah.
Because they know what could happen. Just because you can whoop a motherfucker, that don't mean you finna win today.
Now, I just want to say this, man, before we move on to the next topic, because we got to talk about this Joe and 50 Cent shit. But he also went on to talk about different things that have happened in his life that he doesn't he doesn't really necessarily mess with. Now, I didn't know about him and Tory Hart. I didn't know anything was going on with them, but the thing about that is you can't call somebody out publicly and then when they come to address you about it, be on the, oh, I got defense with me for people that, you know, if you want to try some shit. It's like, no, I think that to me, that's a bitch move. Don't provoke me, and then when I come to you because of what you said about me publicly, now you want to have somebody try to do something to me when I pull up on you. Now I get it, you know, you got to play defense at all times, but playing defense is not inviting the drama into your life. I say the same thing about academics. Academics has got really comfortable because he's made a lot of money doing the things that he's done. So now he can afford security. He can afford protection at his home. He can afford certain things. So he went from the guy who was scared, sitting there talking to the Migos and fiddling his fingers, looking around and frightened and scared and beside himself, befuddled, to now sitting behind the screen talking about, oh, you niggas say you want to do something, then you got to prove it to me. You got to do it. You got to do it. You niggas got to come do it. Oh, I got 50 guns in the crib. I'm not afraid of shit. Like, doing stuff like that, I hate when a nigga become hard, pause, after he decides that now he's wealthy and he has some money and he has some type of protection around him. Now all of a sudden you want to act hard and you want to act tough and you want to invite the drama when you're really not that person. And academics does not be outside like that at all. He picks and chooses the right places to go. But he does not be at these events. He rarely is ever at shows. You're a hip hop blogger, but you're not at these hip hop shows or these hip hop events, and it's because you have created a target around your back. So in this Tory Hart situation, if we ever hear something come out of this, just remember where you heard it first was from this nigga right here. Because I had no idea. I don't know about anybody else. I don't keep my ears to the comedy streets like that. I don't try to look for the drama within the comedy sector like that. I don't know nothing about that. But I didn't know about it. And I don't know if y'all in the chat knew about that, but now we do. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic, but just remember, something may come out of this situation. He also did mention the Tony Baker situation as well. And just to reiterate on what kind of happened, he kind of alluded to the fact that Tony would look at him weird or turn his face up at him when he came around and, you know, kind of, you know, was being snobby or just kind of looking, you know, giving Corey a type of negative energy that prompted Corey to walk up on him and say something to him. He also said he kind of regrets walking up to him and letting him bother him because he shouldn't have, you know, cared at all. But nonetheless, he still made that decision. Now, Tony has not responded to that. He hasn't said anything about that. I doubt he will, because I think Tony is somebody who's smart enough to know that when you keep things going, it gives it life. And in this day and age of social media and drama, when you don't address something and you just let something die, it's gonna do just that. It's gonna die. I don't think, unless Corey continues to bring his name up, this whole thing is gonna die out. Nobody's even gonna care about it. Nobody's gonna think about it. Nobody's gonna ask questions about it. It's not even gonna come up in conversation, because that's how the world works. So much stuff is going on at one time. Nobody's gonna really care about that at all. Now, let's see what some of y'all said before we move on. Let's see. Damn it, he doesn't like Kevin Hart's ex-wife? Nope. What up, Ben Frank? He said it's motherfuckers that'll do it for pennies, literally. Still, at least said, regardless of security and protection, no one is untouchable. That's a fact. And I think that gets lost on people when they haven't been in that situation ever before in life. So with academics, growing up being somebody who was very timid and very scary in life, he doesn't know what it's like to move around militant or move around with your head on the swivel or having the street smarts to, protect yourself, even when you know you have protection around you. I don't think he understands that concept. I think he thinks, oh, I have security and I have protection at my house. Therefore, the people that try to come for me has to go through a line of defense first. Okay, but you still have to go outside. And bullets have no names. That's why it's more so a better idea to stay out of bullshit than it is to be in it. But a lot of times the bullshit sells. Grits and Gravy said, I remember how he talked greasy on the female comic from Chicago, and her husband had him apologize in the next episode. I still can't remember her name. I don't remember her name either, but I do know exactly what you're talking about. He went off the rails, called her all types of bitches and all types of stuff. And because he has this God complex, he doesn't think that certain people will approach him. But now, after being in certain situations, you hear how much he's talking about having protection now. See, Corey seemed like the person that felt protected already, or felt like he was really good enough in the streets for nothing to happen to him. And he was at the right level of celebrity to where he ain't got to worry about a bunch of people bum rushing him and asking for pictures and autographs, but also is able to stand outside and able to be around people who respect him and who love him and who treat him and revere him as an OG comic, to where he feels comfortable. And I don't think he was expecting that woman's husband to pull up on him. Ben Frank said Tony is good people. That's what a lot of people said. Money Mars said he mentioned her issues before during her being on Cat Williams' tour and backstabbing things she did to Kevin. Oh yeah, I remember that, but I'm talking about as far as things that she did to him, and what she actually did to Corey to make him feel like he has to have some type of protection around him. Oh, Kelly Kells. Okay, that's who it was. Yes, that's the name, Kelly Kells. Now, you guys, 50 Cent has been on a tear for the past couple weeks, going in on Big Meech, going in on Young Buck, going on Rick Ross, going in on just anybody, Lil Meech, anybody who said they had a problem with Irv Gotti after he passed away. 50 Cent has been on a tear. Now, this isn't out of the ordinary for 50 Cent, but just know that when you are in 50's crosshairs, you will get made out to look crazy, and that's exactly what happened in this situation with Joe Budden. Now, if some of y'all don't remember, Joe was on his podcast responding and reacting to the things that 50 did when Irv Gotti passed. He felt like it was distasteful. He felt like it was wrong. He also felt like 50 needs to go to therapy to work out some of the issues that he has as to why he does some of the things that he does. 50 got word of that. He seen it, posted it on his IG with a caption that said, "What are you talking about?" along those lines, and also told him to stop walking outside butt naked. Now, for those that don't understand that reference or probably missed this, Joe was in some hot water for a minute. They had to switch studios for a couple weeks because Joe had apparently sleepwalked outside of his apartment, or out of the wherever they do the podcast at. He was there, and he was butt naked, and he walked out of his front door, to which the neighbors called the police and they tried to get this they tried to say that he was, you know, indecent exposure. He was exposing himself to them outside, but I guess he won this because they saw on camera how he was acting. It looked like he was probably clearly sleepwalking. Also, it showed that he didn't like actually walk out to go to this person's apartment. He just literally opened the door to his own apartment, stepped out, and stepped back in. And that's kind of what happened with that. But 50 has been rolling off of that on his IG since he heard what Joe had to say about him needing therapy. This was Joe's initial reaction to when he first found out of what 50 posted on IG via Queen's Flip.
About what? You took a video. You said 50. Stay out my business, Joe. Trying to talk about I need therapy, bitch. You need to stop walking around naked. Man, he took a picture screenshot of it.
What I said?
Well, you said he need therapy.
They do need therapy.
Yeah, stay out of business.
And I do need to stop walking around naked. They both true.
Business, though.
Let me know when you lie.
He said 50 does need therapy, and I also need to start walking around naked. Both things can be true. Now, what also is very true is that after he saw the IG post himself, which I'm going to go to because I want y'all to see him. This is one of them right here with his shirt off. 50 Cent with the caption saying, "Why you just left out of Mermaid so fast, Joe? It's starting to get spooky, right?" And a lot of people thought that he was insinuating he sent some goons to mermaids to press Joe. Now, we don't know if that's true or not. Maybe we'll see on the next episode of the Joe Budden podcast. But 50 also went on to post some AI pictures of Joe Budden, him outside of house. He said, "The F is you doing over there naked, Joe? How you open the damn door if you sleep, fool? Nah, F that. You try it again, perv." And then here we gonna put Academic's face over Joe's private areas. Hold on, let me, because the next photo is out of pocket. It is out of pocket. I mean, it is out of pocket. It got Joe with his tidy whities on, man. We can't do that. It says, "Joe, where the F is you going? To Diamond Club in the Bronx? You shot the F out, boy." Then he went on to post this, a very suspect picture of Joe turning around. Once again, another AI picture. He said, "Joe, I'm going to ask you this one last time. The F wrong with you, punk. You scaring the kids." And then he said, "Yeah, Joe, it's midday. We know your ass not sleeping, punk. Put some clothes on." 50 is ridiculous, man. You cannot fight with 50 or else these type of things will happen to you. Now, once again, like I said, when Joe saw this, this is how Joe responded. All right? Check this out.
Me? Yeah. I've been getting fucking negativity highlighter, fucking 50 been posting me for 7 days in a row. Fucking what else happened this week? Something else happened this week. It's just been a week.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
I was at the hospital.
Funeral.
Wednesday. A dude saw me, was like, "Yo, Ice." Looked over, he's like, "Yo, 50 on your man ass, yo, 50 on your man ass." I'm like, no, the niggas thought that was you.
That's the problem with the internet.
They thought that was real. I'm like, yo, that's
right
not
there,
Joe, bro.
That right there is the problem with the internet. What? Like, my day was fine.
All right, ours wasn't. Yeah, that's like, nigga, whatever happened to
like
you,
nothing,
you don't get it.
It didn't change anything. Actually, quite the contrary, man. Like, I ain't one of the rapping niggas. He do that shit. I make money. I get paid.
Yeah.
Shot him out
anytime
there.
anyone, hook, nigga. Anytime one of them niggas with fucking 30 million, 50 million followers post me good or bad, I get paid. If I have a problem with it, we getting lawyers involved. Like, what you want me to do? Because that's illegal. But
illegal?
Yeah, you can't take all these AI pics and just start. That's what Shorty is going to court for. You can't do that. But I don't have a
Now, people...
problem, and I think that's corny. And that's 50. I got all the respect in the world from. But if I get tired of it and it stops paying, then yeah, it's lawyer time.
Now, he's talking lawyers. Now, some people are saying that Joe is contradicting himself because he was going at Drake for suing UMG over Not Like Us. and boosting the plays and boosting the song. But there is a clear difference in that. Joe isn't somebody who went out here to spark a rap battle or engaged in a back and forth with 50, and then once it got too hot, he said, oh, I'm going to sue 50 for these AI pictures. No, he gave his opinion on what 50 did publicly about how he responded to Irv's death. 50 didn't like that and decided to go out of his way to post AI pictures of him looking any kind of way. That, however it goes down, whatever legal shit happens in that realm, that's just how it happens. With Drake's case, clearly it's different. You can't talk about how UMG went to pump a song that was calling you a PDF file and calling you this and said you had an extra daughter or extra kid or whatever the case may be, but you went on your end to say that this nigga beats his wife and that one of his kids might be his and making fun of him for thinking that he got miscrested. You can't be the person that lies in your raps and then gets mad when somebody lies in theirs. And like I said, this defamation suit, the one thing that they gonna do when they come up with this shit, because clearly it's about defamation of things that they put out there. Drake knows that Kendrick isn't gonna sue back. He's actually using that to his advantage, which is kind of smart. You know Kendrick isn't going to return a lawsuit with defamation on you because you're not suing Kendrick, you're suing UMG. And because he's not gonna waste his, he's not gonna find that culturally acceptable. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Now, do I think Joe should sue 50 Cent for that shit? No. I think when it comes to 50 and when you say certain things about 50, you have to keep in mind that you may or may not get posted with a wild caption. And you may not get you may get roasted, you may get some type of backlash, you may get people making fun of you. It happens when you mention 50 in a certain light. It just happens. This is something you gotta expect. Which I don't think Joe's gonna do that. I think he was saying that so that the pictures can come down, which they did. They're not up there anymore. Now I don't know if it was due to Joe's legal team reaching out to 50, or if 50's legal team reached out to him and was like, hey, we, just to be safe, take those down because he could try to sue you and get some money out of you. Now, it is what it is. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I hope not, because the last thing we need is for Joe to be suing 50 Cent over him getting roasted. You had an opinion. It is what it is. You let it go. You let bygones be bygones. All right? 50's going to be 50 at the end of the day. Now, speaking of 50, he does have something coming out soon. I don't know if it's coming out today or when it's coming out, but the situation with Big Meech and Tammy Cohen, and the paperwork allegedly on Meech about him being a third-party informant and getting somebody locked up for the rest of their life, that is about to happen soon. And when that does happen, I will keep y'all posted on that when it does. Now, one thing I want to highlight is the fact, because I know a lot of people don't want to highlight it, they want to keep continuing to put this man in a certain light. I don't care if you like Jay-Z. I don't care if you don't like Jay-Z. One thing we're not going to do is attach ourselves to allegations that become false or that become untrue or that aren't based in merit or facts or reality. There was a young woman trying to draw a lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy. The one guy that took this was, of course, somebody by the name of Tony Busby. He's taken on a lot of cases, several cases when it comes to the Diddy case. And in this particular instance, he had a young female who wanted to allege that she was at a party and she was both scraped by Diddy and Jay-Z went at a young age of 14, I believe, 14 or 15. The lawsuit was dropped by the woman in question. Now, of course, because Jay-Z is a billionaire and he has a lot of connections and he has a lot of power, of course, people will go to the conspiracies and say, oh, well, he probably paid her off, or he probably intimidated her and made her drop the case, or he probably did this, or he probably did that. Or it probably wasn't true, and Tony Busby was trying to plot against Jay-Z to take him down as well as Diddy. Who knows what's true in this situation? What we do know is that the case was dropped, and now Jay-Z has filed a defamation claim against Tony Busby, and a judge just cleared for a trial. So now they will proceed with a trial in this case. They say a Los Angeles judge signaled Tuesday that Jay-Z's defamation claim against high-profile attorney Tony Buzbee will overcome a legal challenge and be allowed to proceed to trial. In a tentative ruling in courtroom comments during a lengthy hearing, Judge Mark H. Epstein, horrible last name, said he believed the question of whether Buzbee acted recklessly and with actual malice when he named Jay-Z as a defendant in a scrape case last December had enough merit to move ahead. The same judge also said he was leaning toward dismissing the rapper's related extortion claim against Buzbee. At the end of the 2-hour hearing, Judge Epstein declined to make a final ruling, saying he needed more time to digest the oral arguments, from lawyers on both sides. Let's see. Jay-Z first sued Buzbee anonymously in November, claiming the Texas attorney was shamelessly trying to extort him while representing dozens of plaintiffs with claims against indicted music mogul Sean Combs, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. The Diddler, a.k.a. Sean Baby Oil Combs. 3 weeks later, Buzbee filed an amended complaint on December 8th that named Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, as the male celebrity who allegedly scraped a 13-year-old girl alongside Combs at a New York City residence back in 2000. Carter immediately and vehemently denied the allegations and confirmed he was the John Doe who filed the extortion lawsuit against Buzbee. Since then, the woman who filed the lawsuit dropped it without prejudice, which means it cannot be filed again ever in life. Now, I know people love to go and try to push this narrative because a lot of people wanted to see Jay-Z go down for some odd reason. I still don't know to this day why he gets so much hate or why people are so against Jay-Z. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm a big fan of Jay-Z or that I'm team Jay-Z or anything like that. I simply just don't know what the issue is or why so many people have it out for him or why they want to see him fail. I don't know. But nonetheless, he did drop this defamation suit and it will go through and the trial will happen at some point in life and we will see when it does. And when it happens, I will be here to follow that with you guys as well. There was a statement that they released because when the statements got dropped, Jay-Z actually released his own statement. He said, "Today is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. This civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional take they created was laughable. If not for the seriousness of the claims, I would not wish this experience on anyone. The trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. This 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe, and when they quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. The court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally." Signed, Sean Carter. Let's see. Let me read some of y'all comments because I want to know why people don't like Jay-Z. The case was dropped. Okay, I got Simo. He said the case was dropped, not settled out of court. Jay-Z is within his right filing the case. Don't forget, AKA Shiny Suit Man. Subliminal Frequency said, dude has burned people as well. That's why. Okay. Money Mars says Jay-Z is far from someone to be rooting for anymore. I mean, we've heard the same things about a lot of people. You know, we never know how these stories go. I do want to say this. Cameron responded to something that Dame Dash said earlier, and I've always thought about this with Dame, regardless of his impact on the culture and what he's done as far as like being the CEO of Rockefeller and putting a lot of money in people's hands and creating a lot of businesses. He felt as if he put in so much work and he's made so many people millionaires and made so much people money that he should never have to work again a day in his life. But contrary to popular belief, just because you make people a lot of money doesn't mean that they are entitled to give you the money that you've helped them make. Also, there's no point in life where you just have to stop hustling. You can't stop. And I agree with that when it comes to that because you're in a business where your lifestyle isn't just a regular lifestyle of somebody living and working a 9-to-5 and taking care of bills in that way. You know, Cameron made a point to bring up some of the things that he was doing, buying mansions in different countries that he would only visit once every other, you know, every 3, 4, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you rent a mansion here? Or why would you have certain amenities when you have a certain lifestyle and you live a certain way? You got to keep up with that lifestyle. So now you're starting to try to, you know, do certain things that bring you a bigger bag than what you can basically make at the time with who you are today. Like right now, nobody's caring about what a Dame Dash can do for them because it's not in the same era where he can walk into a building and try to vouch for you and get you somewhere, you know, ahead in life. Nowadays, the person themselves are the ones walking in these buildings, getting these opportunities for themselves because they're already popping on the internet. Like there's certain requirements that come with this. Now I know he knows this. He's a very smart businessman, but it doesn't seem like a lot of things have panned out for him as of late or as of recent years. And it seems like a lot of that stuff has been coming out, like the bitterness or just, you know, the feeling of not being able to accomplish certain things while also knowing your legacy in the game. Like it's probably a hard battle to fight with internally because you're thinking about all the great things that you've already done and all the great things that you've accomplished. And now you're thinking about where you are in life today and all the people that you've helped along the way, probably becoming more successful than you, or, you know, even especially like Jay-Z being the main topic, like the main point of reference. Jay-Z becoming somebody who is a billionaire. You know, Dame wants to touch some of that money and he feels entitled to some of that money. And he may be entitled to some of that money. I don't know. But if you strain a relationship with somebody, regardless if it came from them or started with them or not, if a relationship is strained, nobody's going to feel like they owe you anything. And you're definitely not going to get to a point where you get what you think you deserve from that person when they do not see you in that way. Now, I wish nothing but the best for Dame. I think Dame is somebody who has always been very smart and very business savvy, always been a hustler, always been creating, always having ideas here and there, always putting his hand in something. I respect him for that. But the one thing I don't agree with is that the people that you've helped along the way, and if they become successful, they do not owe you in the form of paying your bills. That's just my opinion. Now, if you want to humble yourself and ask for something, that's cool. But other than that, I don't know. Now, one last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here is this nigga right here. This nigga look like my uncle. What's up, Uncle Steve? Hey, man. Steve Smith, man. Steve Smith Sr. So if you guys didn't hear about this over the past couple days, Steve Smith Sr. has been put on blast because a woman's husband decided to go on social media and blast Steve for smashing his wife. I'm talking about giving her the harpoon. He was digging in that so vigorously that she even said he almost knocked the birth control out this woman. He almost took the IUD right out. Almost broke it. Said he was punching her shit like Mike Tyson in his prime. Said he was long stroking it from one field to the other. Said they was somewhere in the locker room tied up in the showers after hours. What sound does ravens make? He was giving her the caw-caw. Caw-caw. Oh my God. Now, if I was this man, I never would have did this. I never in my life would have put this out there. Not even Batman. Not even on the darkest night in Arkham City. Batman couldn't beat this information out of me. He would have had to beat my ass and send me to jail. I never would have done this. But nonetheless, you never know what a man is going to do when he's hurt. Now, this man decided to put the messages out there for the public. He went on Twitter where it blew up, but he also went to Facebook with it, and he hacked her Facebook account. Went to her Facebook and posted the screenshots of all the messages and the pictures that she sent them. The man's name is Antonio Martinez, and his wife is by the name of Nikki. What he decided to go on her Facebook and do and make this post, he said, "Hi, I am Nicole Martinez, though I won't be a Martinez much longer. You see, I have been cheating on my husband, and I have been doing so with the very famous Steve Smith Sr. Pics attached for reference. I had him hidden under 3, but that's been fixed. My husband bought me a house. He stood by my side after I had been arrested twice for domestic violence, and this is how I repay him and our son. There's plenty of messages here, Steve. Crazy the kind of revealing messages a celebrity will send. Baltimore Ravens." He tagged the Ravens. "I am also a member of your team band." Wow, she's a part of the team band. "I believe I violated some fraternization rules by hooking up with Steve at the training facility." Holy. Look at some of these messages, man. Look at some of these messages. "Wow, you look stunning." He said, "About to go work out. I'm getting a little chunky." And that's when he sent her this picture. He said, hey, bitch, this is how you know a nigga is comfortable smashing a chick without no type of worries in the world. Ain't no way a man gonna send you a picture after saying he getting a little chunky. He not finna embarrass himself like that. But see, he knew this motherfucker wasn't shit, so he said, "I'll send you whatever. Let me send you this uncle ass selfie." Cause this is what the unks be doing on Facebook and shit. That's how they take their selfies. Their profile pics look just like this. Niggas' phone be at their chest and they just be looking down, smiling and shit. Face be all pudgy and shit. all round and congested. They can't take a regular selfie. They shit always gotta be down here. I don't understand. But he sent that picture, and he also sent some other things. Here's her flirting with him. She said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Take me deep down your throat like you kind of like you wanted to blank me off." She said, "I did. I would have blanked on it, but I had to come home." He said, "You enjoy it. You like to feel it." She said, "I like feeling it deep and wet in my wet punani cat." He said, "Me too. Letting you taste it, though, would be a turn on. I would have shot my nut all inside your pussy." She said, "I love making you come. I enjoy it more when you come inside." Ooh, he was busted inside your wife. Like, before he got to the internet with it, you know he was reading those messages on his knees. Tears profusely running down his face. You reading what this woman is allowing this other man to do behind your back without no ounce of knowing what was happening. You reading all this shit for the first time, and on top of that, that's what men hate the most too. When you read what already happened, that feeling of not being able to stop it or prevent it from happening crushes your soul. Your spirit leaves your body right through your ass. You farted out because you're so nervous and you're so fucked up from it that your bowels is fucked up. You start feeling sick. You start feeling weak. You start feeling like you're anxious. You're shaking and shit. My man was probably praying to God that he was being pranked, and then he realized it's not April 1st. Bitch, what is this?
Yo, Steve.
Listen to this. And then the dude called Steve. He called Steve on the phone, and this was Steve's reaction.
Yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
sorry.
I'm sorry. Like, what you want me to say, man? I can't take the nut away. I already busted in your wife. She already took it deep down her throat. You know what I'm saying? You read the messages. You know what I'm saying? She said I almost knocked her IUD out. You know, what else you want me to say? The nut has been busted. I'm sorry. I can't take it away. I can't rewind time and unfuck your bitch. It happened already. I cannot unfuck your bitch. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to proceed. But I mean, the only thing I can say is like, nigga, I'm sorry. Like, sorry.
You're sorry?
Yeah.
You fucking knew she was married.
Yeah. I knew she was married. But like me, I'm not married to you. I don't know who you are. And if your wife is choosing and she throwing me the box and I'm receiving it, then that's just, it is what it is. I don't owe you any loyalty. She owes you the loyalty. She owes you the vows that y'all said to each other standing there as y'all was getting married. I don't owe you anything. And now, because this situation happened, people are going back to see what was being said. What happened? Do these people have a family? Yes, she does. She has an entire family. She's married. She has children. But not only that, but Steve Smith Sr. has a family and children and a wife. Now, I hate to show these people. I don't want to show them on the internet like that, but that's just kind of, you know, it's just to give some reference. Ain't nothing happened now besides the fact that now these two are just going to fall into each other now. Especially if Steve's wife see all this and be like, oh, no, I can't fuck with you. Now the only option they have now is to continue fucking. Like, you already did it. Y'all already in it. You already made it happen. She probably gonna get fired. I know he not gonna get fired. She might get fired. Yeah, well, you know what? Steve might get fired too. This might be too much negative press. He might get fired too. But nonetheless, this is not gonna stop them. They gonna keep fucking. And on top of that, you took this woman back after 2 domestic assaults that landed her in jail. You stayed by her side with that. Oh yeah, she could definitely fuck another nigga and still come back to you. I'm sorry. But like, you can act mad for like a couple weeks. But I'm telling you right now, she run the show. All this stuff happened. You think you finna divorce this lady. You think you put her on blast. As a matter of fact, she gonna make you feel bad or make you feel like shit because you put her business out there. Not because she did you wrong. Not because she was disloyal and disrespected you and had another nigga's dick down her throat behind your back. But because you put it on blast, now she gonna probably make you feel like shit because you put it out there to the public. That's that nice little escape accountability trick that a lot of motherfuckers be doing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it is what it is. Now, I haven't seen no statement from Steve Smith yet, but when it happens, we will be here to talk about it. Nonetheless, all right? GMS fam, the Green Room, it has been a dope show today. I appreciate every single one of y'all for pulling up expeditiously. Like I said, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit that like button on the way out. Also, when this show is over, please do me a big favor and head to the comment section, man. I want to see what y'all thought about today's show, man. What y'all see in the review, what y'all enjoyed about today, what y'all didn't enjoy, or even if y'all just want to put a GMS in that comment section when the live is over, please do that for me, man. Shout out to Sean Mims for sending the $4.99 in the super chat. If you want to support the GMS show in a big way, you can send a super chat. You can become a member of the GMS show. Also, my Cash App is in the description below. Also, one of my moderators put it in the chat for people in there. If you want to help support the GMS show in a big way, you can hit the Cash App, all right? Now, GMS Family Green Room, it's been real. Shout out your city. Where have you been tuning in from, man? I want to see where y'all been tuning in from. I want to shout y'all out as we get up out of here, man. Shout out to Caprice Edwards. I see you. Shout out Cortez. I see you, brother. Put a GMS in the chat or shout out where you from. I want to shout you out in the comments, man. Let's go. Hey, shout out Cortez, shout out Tremaine from Sacramento, shout out T-Fan1, tuning in from Harvey, Illinois. We got Detroit in the building, the 313, Subliminal Frequency is in the building, Glittery Bubbles from West Palm Beach is in the building. My guy CDT Beats is in this mother flipper. Hurricane JW, I see you Detroit all day. You know, I got a couple people from Detroit that tune in, man. Shout out to y'all, especially the people out in LA, people out in, you know, California, period. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vallejo in the building, Bell is in the building, Richmond, VA is in the building, ATL is in the building, Los Angeles is in the building. Shout out C-Mode. Shout out to my GMS fan, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. It means the world to me that y'all pull up when y'all do pull up, regardless of what we talking about, man. And y'all show love and y'all support, and y'all stay active in that chat, man. It means a lot to me. As long as y'all support me, man, we gonna make this shit happen, man. GMS fam, the green room. It's been real. It's been lovely. I hope y'all smoke something. At the end of the day, do what you gotta do during the day. Get everything you need to get out of the way, and then you smoke. Peace and love to everyone in the chat. That's right. Oh, should I end this with a different beat? I've been doing that lately. I've been ending the show with different beats. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I am going to do that. All right. Let's see. Appreciate you, Hurricane. All right, let's get to it. Hey. All right. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. GMS fam, the green room, it's been real. I'm gonna see y'all later. Make sure you tune in to 3Gs later tonight, 8 p.m. Don't miss it. We out.